All right, we're back to chapter 7. We're going to do an actual demonstration in the code Visual Studio, now looking at arrays in this example here. So if you open up your program and have a look at how this program works here, it's basically a random number generator that we're going to use, but this lends itself very nicely to an array because we're doing something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in fact I'm going to add the next one here is called 7 to quick pick numbers. So it's going to go through and it's going to load up an array in this case right here. All right, and this program actually generates numbers, but whether they're unique numbers. Of course, they all have to be different numbers. If they're not, if I click this, keep clicking it, and there's two numbers that are the same, it's going to come back and say the numbers match. So I'm not sure what number here is actually matching here, so it must be, I don't know what happened there, but anyway, we'll have a look at that one. All right, if you open up your code and we look at this quick pick right here, I've got two because we're going to look at this in two different ways. We know that there's 7 numbers, so I'm going to set my array equal to 7 in this case. And now we're going to create an instance of an array in the memory. So we're going to call it the lottery numbers, and we're going to dimension it out for 7. Then I'm going to create a new object in the memory called random, and we're going to dimension this out into this to the heap. So we're going to create another instance of another object using the random class right here. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to load up the array. And to load up the array, we're going to use the repetition structure here called for. And in this case, we're going to start off at 0. And as long as this index here is less than the lottery number's length property, so as long as it's less than 7, then we will keep looping. And of course, we'll increment by 1 here. So the index increments by 1. So let's take the first instance of this array, so that would be 0 for the lottery number, and then take a random number between 0 and 48, and then I scale it up 1, so it'd be from 1 to 49, and I'll stick it into that first element using the subscript right here. I probably should have called that maybe subscript, would have made sense, right? All right, so once I've done that, I'm going to load up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to load up all those up into there. And each of these lottery numbers for 0 will have a number, and then lottery numbers 1 and so on. They'll all get loaded with. Now, what I want to do is output the information. Now that we've processed it, we're going to output it. So I'm going to take the first label, which is this control right here, and I'm going to put in that first random number from here. Of course, it's outputting, so I'm going to say let's go to a string, and I'm going to stick that into here, and I'm going to repeat that process 6 more times until all of the numbers have been outputted into these controls. All right, so from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first label right here, and I'm going to put them into a variable. And what this process is going to do is going to help me check what my numbers are. So number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. All my numbers are going to actually take the value of this, and I'm going to assign it to these variables. Now these variables were declared up here above this method. Hence this would make them a field variable right here. This would be a variable that's available anywhere in this particular form class. So I'm going to be assigning these, and that will duplicate the same numbers. And then from there, we're going to call upon a method here to check the numbers. All right, so I'll do this one in the next video. I'll pick up that